First let's look at where we are with Ukraine. Is it time for the UK to cut ties? And I don't ask that question mischievously or with any great satisfaction. Is it time for the UK to cut ties with Ukraine? There's a couple of reasons by this. In the last 48 hours, we know, of course, that long-range missiles supplied by the West have been used in Russian territory. Some were cancelled out by the Russians. Anti-personnel landmines now being greenlit by the United States, and Putin declaring, of course, he has a big fat mama of a weapon and he ain't afraid to use it. Tens of thousands dead, billions of pounds and dollars being sent over on an almost hourly basis, and the United Kingdom is at the heart of the story. Here's a question. Is it time to stop? Let's have a listen then to our own Foreign Secretary. This is David Lammy speaking yesterday in the House of Commons.
In our first week in office, my right honourable friend, the Prime Minister, confirmed that we would provide £3 billion a year in military aid this year, next year, and every year that it's needed.
Wow. £3 billion in aid. Now, we can talk forever about where that money could be better spent. The overarching argument in defence of Mr Lammy and his predecessors, of course, is that, look, this is a Russian invasion on European soil. It doesn't get any worse than that. It is absolutely in our interest to be there, to assist in military terms, in humanitarian, in any kind of respect. Globally, of course, the figures are eye-watering. The UK giving billions, the United States tens of billions, put all of that together. How much is too much here? How much is too much? The death toll is grim. Tens of thousands have lost their lives as a result of this war. Many of those will be civilians as well. Lives upended and the country beyond recognition. Is it time for the UK to cut ties with Ukraine? 0344 499 1000. The other question, and I've never, look, I'm no great geopolitical expert, and we'll talk to Isabel and can maybe shine a different light on this. The other question is this: the growing belief that Russia are actually the good guys here and Ukraine are the bad guys, and therefore all of its allies and supporters are also the bad ones too. And here's an example of this. We had Tobias Ellwood on. Yes, I know, it's Tobias Ellwood. We had him on yesterday, former chair of the Defence Committee, usually right across these kind of stories. And I got this message on X from Simon after Mr Ellwood was on. He says, Ian, Tobias Ellwood is deluded, just like anyone else that thinks that Russia are at fault for this war. It's the bloody Ukrainians who started this back in 2014 by bombing Russians in the Donbass region. It is time the people got their facts right and stopped pushing the war. Now, if that was just an isolated message, I'd get it, but it wasn't, and it hasn't been for a while. Those messages come through quite thick and fast. Can somebody shine some light on this? So Putin is essentially the victim. Russia and President Putin are merely defending themselves here. It's not their fault. It's actually Ukraine that is to blame here. So we'll look at that aspect of it too, the financial side and whether or not the United Kingdom can continue. And of course, there's other reasons. It isn't just about the billions of pounds we are spending over there, but there's now an escalating security issue and a safety issue. We know what Putin is capable of. I don't think he's going to be pressing any big red buttons anytime soon, but, you know, you heard about various countries legging it from the embassies, Italy, Greece, Spain's in there, and of course the United States. Will we follow? The list goes on. Is it time the UK cut ties with Ukraine?